guys, Alexandria here, and I'm here to walk you through how to use your new pitch deck template. So no matter if you're using the light version or the dark version or any of the other versions in between, I got you. We're going to talk about how to do things like edit your text, add your images, and any other small fine-tuned customizations that you need to make sure that the pitch deck is exactly what you envision. So let's jump right in.
The first thing we're going to talk about is navigating your template file. When you open up the template file, it should look like this, where you see the slide that you're on in the center, your navigation to all of the slides on your left-hand side, and of course your format, animate, or document window over here on the right-hand side. If it does not look like this for whatever reason, for example, if you don't see your slides over here on the left, then right here where you see view, if you click it, it'll most likely be on slide view. You can click it and go back to navigator, which will show you the thumbnails on the left. On the right, if you don't see the format window and you see maybe even the animate window, or there's nothing at all, if you click format, it will show up. So once you open up the document and it looks like this, you know you're ready to go. It's pretty simple and pretty easy to navigate. You don't want to work directly on this template file, because if you do, then you're no longer going to have the template file. So the very first thing that I suggest is making a copy, and you can do that in one of two ways. You can go up to File, Save As, click your destination, and then save it as your film title. And then this will create a new version of the template that you can now work through and edit, while also keeping your main template file unedited and untouched. That way you can continue using that template file over and over and over again. The other way to make a copy once you have the original template file is to go to File and Duplicate. If you do that, you will see it'll create a second version of the template file, which you can save as, or click this button here, rename it, save it to your destination, or click File and Save As. And now you have your copy. Now that you have a copy made, we can now start editing the template file for your pitch deck. So the very first thing we're going to do here is now talk about how to edit the text boxes. So anywhere in the deck where you see copy and words, if you click it, it should highlight it in this blue box. That lets you know it's a text box ready for you to edit. The easiest way to do that is you can either double click, highlight everything there for you to begin typing, or if you already have for example, the log line in a document and you want to copy it over, you would just highlight copy, highlight what you want it to be replaced, and I suggest going to edit and paste and match style. That way you can make sure that the copy that you paste doesn't reformat into any other kind of crazy font and matches what's already in the template file. Do that for body copy. You could do it for any of these headlines and anywhere that you see copy. As long as you highlight it, you'll be able to edit it. You can also do things like move the text box around, move the headline if you have a much longer text box. But if you want to go and make a lot more changes to your font, then you're going to go over here to your format section, click text, and now you're going to get your text edit options. This is where you can do things like change your font. You can change your font style if your font has it, so you can go from bold to thin. All of that's in this window here. You can also change your font size and your color. Here is where you can do different things like change the orientation of the text as well as the spacing. So while the template is set up with a good design for you to work off of, if you have more text or less text or have a specific design that you're trying to achieve, this is where you go to make those fine-tune edits. Now that you know how to edit the text, let's talk about how to add your own images into the placeholders. So everywhere you see this gray image, that is a placeholder box. You know it's a placeholder box because every box has this icon in the right hand corner. That is what we're going to click to upload our image. So if you can't see the icon on such as slides like this where it's behind a box, every time you click on the box itself, it brings this icon up into the front for you to click on it. So another example of that is on this inspiration page where it has all of these images layered. This one is behind these other boxes. If you want to just be able to access this placeholder box but not change how they're layered, you just click on it and it brings it to the front. Now let's go ahead and replace one of these images with ours. So we're going to click this box here and it'll open up your folders. So now you just navigate to your images and once you pick the one that works for you, it'll place the image directly within the bounding box of that placeholder. But say we didn't want this image to be exactly like this. If you look at the original, it has 3 people. What if I want to actually see this third person? Well, when I double click the image, it now shows me this box that shows me the frame that's visible and the rest of the image. If I take it, I can move it around and move it in this frame and it'll show me what I can see and what's now not visible. And when I click out of it, it affects the changes and that's exactly what it looks like. So if I clicked it again and wanted to move it, I can move it this way. I can scale the image up and reposition it, all while keeping the image locked to the box. And if I decide that I place an image and I don't like it, I just click Command Z to go back to the template placeholder, or I can go Edit, Undo, and it'll take me the steps back until I get back to this image. Now say I put an image, but it's not dark enough for the words to be legible on top. For example, say I want to use this for my overview slide, but because my text is white, you can't really see it, and I want to add a darkened layer. Well, that's pretty easy to do. We're going to go up to the top here, click on Shape, create a box, and then create a dark box that covers the entire frame. Now I want to go over here to Style on the right hand corner under Format, go down to Opacity, and drop it down to as dark as I need it. But now this box is over the words and the image, and that's not exactly what I want. So I can do 2 things. I can highlight just this black box and send it to back, select my image, send it to back as well, and now it's there. Or I can drag and select both the darkened box and my image, send them both to the back, and now it looks like this. Now that our box is behind the words but in front of the image, we can go back to our opacity and keep editing it until it's exactly how we want it. Now that you know how to edit the template and make it your own, let's talk about the different layouts that come with the templates. Each section has a title slide such as story, team, production, finances, and so on. There are certain sections that have variations in the templates depending on how you want to present that information. So for example, in the story slides, you have multiple versions of the story. So this first one here has just an image and a section for 2 small paragraphs of copy if you have a much shorter synopsis, whereas in slide 7 allows for more copy. You can delete slides, you can rearrange them by dragging and dropping them in this sidebar. And because you've already saved another copy of your template file that will be your master, you don't have to worry about losing any of the slides by deleting them. So now that your template is done and beautiful and tells the story of your film exactly as you want it, now let's talk about exporting it out. But before we do that, if you press play, you'll be able to see your presentation in full screen and look at how beautiful it is and double check and make sure that everything is exactly as you want it. And now that you're ready to export, go to File, Export to PDF. Make sure that your image quality is at best. Make sure everything like presenter notes is turned off, and then click Save. It should already have the name of your save file as the name of the save file. And then when you press export, it'll create your PDF file. And now you are completely done.
And with that, you should know exactly how to navigate your Keynote template and customize it to fit your specific needs. So if you need any more tips and tricks, check out the other resources that I offer here and on my YouTube, and good luck.